I think everybody's always going to need help with the Luke matchup, because he's kind of cracked in this game, even in Season 2.
Yeah, he's still pretty dominating. You know, got slightly nerfed, but, you know, he had some buffs too. And, you know, definitely still online, but also in tournaments and stuff, you're definitely going to see him around. So he's definitely going to still be prevalent.
I think a lot of Luke mains are messing around with Akuma right now, but he'll definitely maintain his core audience. I mean, he's on the box at this point. They really want people to play Luke.
Oh yeah, it's almost been like, trying to remember what year it was that Luke came out in 5, but I feel like it's almost been like 5 years of Luke at this point, because right when he came out, he was just, you know, top 1 in 5, and then you know, Street Fighter 6 is coming out. People are like kind of downplaying him. I don't know if you remember or were there for that, but during the betas, when it was just Ryu, Jamie, Chun-Li, and Luke, people are like, oh yeah, Luke is like the worst character of the bunch. He's not that good.
I did not play the betas. I didn't find the game until after the official release, so I was not around for that discourse, and that's interesting in hindsight.
Yeah, I still remember that because I was trying different characters out, and then right around when the demo came out, where it was just Ryu and Luke, and then I did a lot of practicing in that.
Did you play Luke?
Yeah, I was like, ah.
Oh, I'm sorry. You go first.
Oh, I was just saying like, you know, I still feel like Luke's pretty good in this game too, and you know, lo and behold, months later.
Did you play Luke in Street Fighter 5 as well?
I actually didn't. I tried him out a little bit. But that was kind of when I was slowing down on Street Fighter 5. I actually mostly played Yuri in 5. That's why I'm really hoping. I don't know if he's going to be in Season 2. Most likely not, but I'm really hoping he's in Season 2 for Street Fighter 6.
I'm having an interesting time with the DLC characters, because this being my first one, everybody's new to me. People keep talking about who they want to come back, and I'm like, I don't care which one it is, it's new to me.
Oh, yeah, no, that's definitely an interesting perspective, yeah. Yeah, I mean, even if they bring back, like, you know, legacy characters in 2, they're definitely going to be pretty different. Like, even, like, Blanca is just kind of like a, you know, he's still kind of like Street Fighter 5, Street Fighter 4, but, like, the biggest thing with him is all setups and things like that.
Did you start with Street Fighter 5, or do you have experience even prior to that?
Yeah, I mostly, in terms of like playing competitively, it was mostly 5 that I started off with. I was a fan of Street Fighter for a long time. I started off playing Super Street Fighter 4 3D edition on the 3DS, and then I kind of just
wow, that's a throwback.
Yeah, no, it was a really funny edition of that game. You could, because you can macro moves on the touchscreen, so you could play as Guile and like walk forward, Sonic Boom. It was really silly. But yeah, then I slowly just got some of the other like older Street Fighter games, and then really got into it with 5, and then just kind of continued from there.
That's awesome. What is your CFN, so I can get you invited to the custom room?
Oh yeah, so it's Femboy Slay Jam, capital F, capital S.
Okay, Femboy. Is there a space, or is it all one word?
Oh, all one word.
Femboy Slay Jam. I hate that I even got that joke. I am chronically online.
Yeah, it was just it was like a throwaway bit that. I think it was like the Sajam podcast from Mela, and yeah, it was just like a throwaway bit from them. And I was like, that's pretty funny. I'm just gonna have that as a CFN.
I tend to wonder, like, if people don't get the reference to Mass Effect in my own gamer tag. I've had a couple times where I matched with somebody. I think his CFN was Femboy Lover, and I'm just in here as FemShap, and I'm like, I wonder if they're like, oh my god, like, sorry to disappoint,
right.
Not a Femboy.
I see it now. That makes sense. So then, yeah, you have the hat on the your profile pic too, so that all connects. That makes sense.
I can always tell who does or doesn't get the reference, because people who do get the reference will default to calling me Chef, and people who don't will default to calling
Like
you
sheep.
fab.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Okay,
Makes
so
sense.
we have, I was gonna say, this looks like Barbie movie Luke.
Oh, yeah, I think I've gotten that a good bit, yeah.
He looks like he's gonna sing the I'm Just Ken song, even though he's not Ken.
Yeah, actually, that should be for the Ken and Luke matchup. That's gonna be, if anyone asks me for the Ken and Luke matchup, that's gonna be one of my points for that.
These two look like one of those memes of like the opposite personalities and either like siblings or a couple. Like you have the goth one and then you have the pastel one.
yeah, I know, it's like very femme butch vibes going on, yeah, for sure.
Happy Pride Month, everybody! Okay, so for doing this, I'm just generally going to want to walk through basically Luke's full kit. We don't have to go over like really basic fundamentals, like obviously if you block the DP, you can punish it with your DP punish. Like that stuff I think most people are aware of if they're looking for a matchup guide. But want to go over like what pokes does he usually use in neutral, how can you punish those, what are the combos you're going to see Luke's do a lot of the time online or in tournament, and how are those punishable, if at all? What's the Oki off of those knockdowns? So then once you're on the ground, what are you guessing between what the Luke is going to do? All that kind of stuff. So I think it probably makes the most sense to just start with neutral. I don't really have a set order for these things, but I'm trying to get a little more organized about it. So maybe just start with what are you throwing out in neutral? Because for Marisa, it's going to be this, this.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Maybe
that's
this.
Also really good. For sure. Yeah. So Luke, kind of honestly has a somewhat similar in terms of neutral outside of Fireball, kind of like a similar poking idea with Marisa, whereas you kind of want to try to stay in this like outside range. Luke isn't super aggressive compared to some of the other Shotos, like Ken or Kuma.
Unless it's Noah the Prodigy.
Oh yeah, unless it's him. Yeah. He's no, he's a different kind of animal with that. But yeah, a lot of his, at least how I tend to play with him, kind of want to just get in the outside range. Standing medium kick is a really good button
I'm going to turn the frame data on before I forget about that.
Oh yeah, no, that's actually pretty important.
Input history on. There we go. Okay, so if you hit me with that, you are +1.
And then if you block
range, then that's a true strike throw mix. Or actually, that pushes me back far enough that that's not a strike throw mix, is it?
Yeah. So, yeah, it's mostly just there just to kind of condition the opponent to like try to not poke in this like close range.
And on hit, on block, then that is. I'm +3. Okay, so it's safe on block for you, especially because I can't even reach with a jab from that pushback.
No, that's another thing. It kind of already, depending on the range, it kind of just becomes a spacing trap also. Especially, 6 frame, crouching, like right there.
I'm just gonna have to do that again so I can see it.
Yeah, 6 frame, crouching medium punch. Yeah, if you dry rush out of that, it's pretty big. So another similar type of poke, but usually is more reward off of hit, is a standing medium punch. They're quite like similar in range. So usually I try to start off to do these two pokes because they, again, very similar range. They're both pretty safe. You have to if you really want to try to call them out, and you can drive impact them, but you have to. It's definitely not on reaction.
I'm gonna try that now if you don't mind throwing those out again.
Yeah, sure. I don't know.
Now, that has to be it's definitely a hard read, really.
Yeah, it has to be a very huge call out. To the point where I wouldn't really recommend it, but it's
that's so tight. It's not really functional. Like technically, it's not cancelable.
Yeah.
And how negative is that on block?
So I think it's
that's
also not punishable.
So that also functionally space traps me if I try to hit a button now.
Yeah. that's like Luke's kind of whole memo is just conditioning you with these 3 pokes. Crouching medium punch, there's a whole other thing that we'll definitely get into soon.
The God button, the $1 million button.
Yeah, they nerfed it like 2 different times, and it's still kind of a all-in-one tool. So I'll definitely cover it in neutral. Yeah, these 2. The reason why you would want to use standing medium punch over standing medium kick is that people say that this hit confirmable. It kinda is into this target combo. You can also hit confirm on the second hit super, but it's kind of an odd timing.
Yeah, I don't really see people do that whole target combo.
Yeah, that one.
There it is.
Yeah. So that one you have to like buffer it pretty early, but
because if you don't hit confirm that, I just want to see how negative that is on block.
Oh yeah, so the rest of the sequence, like anything after the first hit is punishable.
Yeah, and we're already -8 there, so do that again.
And then yeah, you can get it. Yeah. But the thing with that button also is that you don't even really need to hit confirm off of it. Usually, if I'm throwing this button out, I'll get a counter hit or a punish counter. Counter hit. This you get into crouching medium punch, which is really good. And then on counter hit, you get crouching light. And that happens a good bit in neutral with this button. So these 2 serve very similar functions. I could go over his lights a little bit. At least for neutral. Usually you'll see this one, so I think
that moves him forward quite a lot. Is that standing light punch?
Exactly, yeah, it's standing light punch. It's a bit slower than his other lights. I believe it's frame startup, but you can special cancel out of it. It's also just really good in terms of spacing traps because again, it leaves him so far forward. So it's kind of like when you get into that closer range of like crouching medium punch.
So I'll think I'm, holding space effectively out here, and I'm waiting for you to get close enough maybe for me to do this.
Right. I think actually Marisa is a really good character to challenge that spacing because of that standing medium punch.
For challenging that spacing, it's going to probably want to be a lot of this.
Yeah,
especially for the drive rush cancel behind it.
Yeah, exactly. I think Marisa is kind of good.
If she gets a counter hit off of this, then that confirms
Yep. And her buttons are pretty good at that range for challenging stuff like that.
Push you just out of your range with the tip of this.
Or that. Because Luke is still negative. Like, I'm pretty sure he's like -2 or something.
Yeah, you're -2 there.
And I'm blocked. He's pretty negative. So it's definitely one of those, like, another thing of just, like, trying to challenge you, trying to make you throw out a button, and then hoping that you whiff something, and then you just go straight into that.
Which I've definitely seen work on me a lot, because I don't like having Luke in my face, and I'll inevitably end up delay pecking, like, get off me, or trying to match something out, or trying to do a gladius in a gap that's more of a frame trap, and then I just end up getting corner carried with the knuckle combos.
Yeah, exactly. Which is we'll definitely get into that when it comes to combos and setups, because a lot of that is pretty new for Luke with this new patch.
I'm not gonna lie, part of me wants to learn modern Luke as a pocket character, just so I can do that one wombo combo that goes perfect. Like, I want that.
Oh no, his combos are fun. Yeah, that's kind of half the reason why I like to play him. It's very satisfying. But yeah, that's kind of just Luke's whole thing. He is just trying to constantly bug you with these pokes that go out so far, and then you're like, screw it, I'm gonna challenge, and then big whiff punish.
Obviously, in addition to the buttons you've already shown, he has the Street Fighter 6 special, the cancelable crouching medium kick.
Yes. So yeah, this is a pretty standard crouching medium kick. I think, big combo to do pretty standard for cancelable crouching medium kicks. The only thing I would probably put a note in for this one in particular is that even if Luke is low on drive gauge, he can pretty easily hit confirm into this target combo. And basically the guessing game with this one is that I'm +1. So
that's if you don't mix up that. Does that work outside the corner too? Just gotta hop over here.
Oh yeah. So +1 no matter what. You can So if I throw here and if you mash, right there, your mash will win.
If you're +1, then yeah, then technically I can knock out of it. But that's
throws have I believe throws have priority over strikes in this game. Could be wrong. And then it'll trade. Or not trade actually. It'll if you mash and then I mash, you know, I'll get a counter hit into crouching medium punch usually out of that counter hit.
Can you just show the range of the crouching medium kick real quick? Because I think it's helpful.
Oh yeah.
So
you know,
that's largely like that, and then the crouching medium punch are going to be what Marisa needs to whiff punish in the neutral.
Yeah. So
I'm looking to stand like here, and you're throwing stuff out.
Yeah, that's a good button for it. Yeah. Recently, I'm pretty sure they nerfed the hurt box and crouching medium punch, and they also nerfed the hurt box crouching medium kick. And I can definitely go over crouching medium punch. So plus on block, 6 frames. Also just a really good poke. You can, you know, a lot of people love to drive rush out of it, but you don't even really need to do that in order to get a good combo.
Is that a true option if you cancel it into itself with the drive rush?
I don't believe so, actually. I think any of the mediums that Luke does that are drive rush cancelable, I think he has to go.
I'm going to try to mash in the gap there if we can do that again. Yep, that's a 2-string.
But I think. Oh no, okay.
That's true, because I'm mashing super and it's not coming out. Whereas, like crouching medium kick into a lot of options, I'll be able to mash in the gap.
Yes, yeah. They have to do crouching light punch in order to make it a true string. Anything else you can mash out of. Yep. Pretty standard. But yeah, I would say still look out for crouching medium kick, even if the Luke has low drive meter, because usually that's going to be advice. It's like, well, if they have less than 3 meters, it'll be burnt out. They, can firm into drive rush. But he has an option to get in. It's not super punishing, and it's still a mix-up, but it's still a really good. It's better than nothing, basically.
The offense going under pressure, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Even with low drive gauge.
I can't tell if Luke is actually scary in Burnout, or I'm just scared of Noah.
So I would say, I would say probably not, because this is kind of one of the things I've been thinking about in terms of one of the weaknesses for Luke, and especially when he's low or Burnout, is that he doesn't have a lot of, he has a lot of safe options, but in terms of, some of the other Shotos, he can't really threaten if he has really low meter. One of the biggest examples... Yeah, and they kind of buffed that a little bit for Luke, because this is the new sequence, the White Knuckle off of Standing Heavy Punch. But this button in itself, because it just does so many other great things. It's very fast, the range is crazy, you get big damage if you convert off of it, but it's very committal. As you saw there, it's punishable on block. I can do this, obviously this is the safest thing to convert off of, but even then, you can blow it up with a lot of, for Marisa, it would probably be Gladius. And at that point, if you're, really calling it out in terms of, EX Gladius after it, yeah, like that, then I have to kind of change my approach. I have to either really only use this button if I know I'm gonna whiff punish or I know it's gonna hit, or spin meter to make it safe.
It has to be EX Gladius there actually, because I was mashing the 1-button Gladius and that wasn't able to use the fireball.
I think I think the armor startup is quicker on the EX one.
Yeah.
So I think that's the needed thing for it. And then I would say another similar thing, which I don't know if you come across this a lot. Usually it was very near the launch of the game that a lot of people would do this on block, but this is also very, very committal on block. So you definitely don't want.
But it
to
is
let
only
Luke
negative
get away
2,
with
and
that.
again, I don't have space there. Are there gaps in the combo itself that I can?
There is. So every time, special cancelable, you think like, oh, he should say if he can get away with it. But you can definitely blow this up with any like EX reversal.
And I'm seeing a 4-frame gap before the sandglass there. Can you do that again and I can just see if I can mash?
Yeah, actually I never really tried that too much, but yeah, okay. Yeah, so that's...
Can you do that one more time? I want to try to get a knockdown.
Yeah, I think for Marisa that might be a bit hard. I don't know if Marisa can convert crouching light punch.
I mean, off the jabs, you can always just dash. So even if that's all she gets, that's still a knockdown, and Light Dima has some of her best Oki in the game. If it's punish counter, then this can combo into this. But it has to be punish counter, and that's an interruption, not a punish counter, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's definitely other things like, so this you also have to drive rush out of to keep it safe,
and then if I've already shown you I'm gonna mash jab to beat the fireball follow-up, then that's the counter to the counter.
Yeah, I would say it's somewhat of a mind game with that, but it's definitely not in the favor of Luke, because you're spending 3 bars on block just to make this safe, essentially. I can go into his other target combo that you usually see this one. So this one also hit confirmable after the first hit.
That is so negative on block, holy shit.
But yeah, it's very negative on block. You need to special cancel out of it. That's another... So I'll go back to this one real quick. Another way to blow this up is to drive impact after the last hit. Just like that. The Luke can be a bit cheeky and do like something like EX projectile. But I would say like in general, unless they do something like this, but then yeah, it's kind of like somewhat of a mind game, but it's very punishing for the Luke to go for that on block. So I would say if they're doing this target combo a lot on block, I would definitely call it out with some sort of option or tool or button.
I see that a lot, and it's definitely overwhelming in the moment because it's so many hits, and it feels like he's very much plus in your face. So realizing that there's actually counters there, I think it's helpful.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It's kind of like one of those like knowledge checky type things for this target combo, because usually you just like, he's just safe after the special cancel. I don't need to interrupt anything, but yeah, I would definitely challenge it. This one, on the other hand, it also has a 4-frame gap, so if they do it very close and you're blocking, I'm pretty sure you can blow it up. Yeah. But this one's way more range dependent, because I can do that from here, and then if I did follow up, I think it outranges at some sweet spots. Yeah, or trades.
Okay, yeah. So that's not guaranteed to interrupt either.
Yeah,
that is very similar to, what is that, a heavy punch target combo?
Yeah, it's this word, heavy punch.
Yeah, so that's equivalent in some ways to Marisa having this. Because that also has a mashable gap.
A little bit. Yeah. I think the difference really is that the second hit you can special cancel out of for Luke, which also makes it, you can't drive impact it as much as the other target combo, because I can just react in the middle of the gap and then just reversal, drive impact.
And then I go to Memphis.
So yeah, exactly. So I would say for this one in general, you can also, it has like the similar gaps in terms of like, you can, EXDP through it.
Bold of you to think that Marisa Maines will ever have an EXDP. We would be catching so much hatred. She does not need it. I would genuinely be like, Capcom, no, because I think I would become public enemy #1.
Yeah, that would be very funny. Well, I guess we'll have to wait in like 3 years if they give any of the characters new moves, but yeah, probably not. So I think for neutral, that's pretty much it. I kind of went over standing heavy punch a little bit, but yeah, just before, it's a very like kind of high committal option for Luke, and one of the things to deal with it outside of just like spending meter very safe way, kind of also like Marisa pressure, is that usually they're going to cancel into either heavy or medium fireball, and you can perfect parry either of those, and you could just completely punish just like that.
Hey,
That was really
good. I got that first try. That was cool.
Nice, yeah. And then just directly after that, I would, I don't know if you know the parry, the perfect parry OS.
Yeah, I do. I'm not consistent with it yet, but I am aware of it. Provided anyone watching this can perfect parry, off of that perfect parry, presumably she can land nice, and then get a huge combo.
I think so. If not, definitely crouching medium would do it. So I would definitely, if it's like...
I'm going to try to perfect parry that a few more times. If you see the perfect, stop hitting me so I can see the frame data.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, she's plus 17 off of that.
Yeah, I know, it's a big punish.
So that works.
Yeah.
Actually,
it'll be punish counter too.
This is an 11 frame, so depending on the range, could even punish with this, I think. Definitely can punish with this, because that's only 8 frames. I think if you're that negative, she might even be able to just punish with this.
Right. And also keep in mind that it'll be a punish counter too, so you'll get pretty.
So probably best to start with this to get then the massive link combos.
Right, for sure. But it's also still kind of a guess because they can also do the medium 1-2, which is a different parry timing. But in general, I would always try to go for perfect parry OS off of his pressure, especially after you see the standing heavy punch get blocked, because they can gimmick with this, which also has its own kind of mind game. But if you're really good, or if they just keep on doing this over and over again, even if they have level 3, you can neutral jump it. You can perfect parry the heavy knuckle. Yeah, like that.
But he goes under me there. That's kind of finicky. Can you do that again?
Yeah. Yeah, you might need a cross up. I don't know if Marisa, I think it's just standing or jumping light kick.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try that a few times.
Yeah, there you go. Because the mind game, I think Noah does this a lot. the mind game with Heavy Knuckle is that if he has level 3, if you try to drive impact it, he could just react with level 3.
I found that out the hard way. I think it was mid-diamond on ranked, because I thought I had finally solved the loop backshot now that I knew I could drive impact the Heavy Knuckle. And I was feeling like hot shit, and I did it to a Luke online, and he canceled into level 3, and it was like a horror movie. Yeah. I screamed, I took damage in real life, I was just like, no!
Oh yeah, it does so much.
Nobody's been doing it yet.
Right, yeah, exactly. So usually that's the reason why. The safest option is just to parry it when you see it, and hopefully you get lucky with the perfect parry, because you can't. It's really hard to try to perfect parry it, because you can adjust the timing of that heavy knuckle so much. Yeah, I can do it with the perfect charge, because that'll be a consistent timing. You just slightly later on your forehead. There you go, nice. And then yeah, you get a pretty beefy
I think you have to get a beefier combo off of that, because on block, I just want to see how negative Heavy Knuckle is on block.
So, Heavy Knuckle is punishable, but the charge one, any of the charge ones are +4 actually.
Oh, okay.
That's the reason also that they go for
parry there.
Yes. So if you're parrying it, if you don't get the perfect parry, then it's Luke's turn.
We might as well move to the knuckle, since that's kind of where this is going. Are they punishable in different ways, like light, medium, heavy?
So yeah, basically pretty much all of them besides the charge heavy knuckles are punishable on block. You're not really going to see these outside of combos or punishes. I know some Luke players like to do not this one, but just like a regular medium knuckle for like DP punishes. But yeah, pretty much all of them, even charge, all punishable on block outside of heavy charge knuckle.
And heavy charge knuckles +4? Are you close enough to get a strike throw mix-up off of that on block?
For the most part, I'm pretty... I'll have my micro walk, actually. The corner. I'll, you know, definitely...
Yeah, but it has to be in the corner, because otherwise you have to micro walk forward for that to be a throw. I'm pretty sure
much,
I've been getting shimmied there because I'm delay teching, assuming he's close enough to throw me after that. And then if I delay tech there, you can just blow me up.
Yeah, exactly. So I would say, you know, I wouldn't recommend to always just mash.
If you shimmy after
plus 4.
Yep, and then I get a huge...
Yeah. So I would say not to attack. You could probably react to the micro walk and try to, you know, it's pretty ambiguous. But yeah, I would say for the most part just to respect it. But yeah, if someone is just really going crazy with the heavy knuckles in neutral, and if they have level 3, I would neutral jump or just parry.
And also drive reversal, correct?
Yes, and then on block, you can definitely drive reversal.
Yeah, that was supposed to be drive reversal. Give me a second.
Yeah, and that's a freaking drive reversal. That's also a pretty common option.
Also worth noting, this got forgotten in the initial recording, but Luke gets a safe jump setup off of a couple of different heavy knuckle combos. If you get hit by either of these, don't try something invincible like level 2 or level 3 super on wake up. It's a safe jump. You gotta block.
It's pretty good.
Especially if you don't want your drive gauge to just keep getting bullied on block.
Yeah, that's another thing. It takes a good bit of almost like a whole bar if you just block it. So yeah, pretty big. That's another big plus for Luke, is that he chips away guard gauge pretty good. This sequence itself almost takes away a bar. If you're like, you know, do this, something like this. You know, a bar and a half,
so
just for
kind of
respecting.
Luke's version of if you block real quick. It's kind of Luke's version of this.
Yeah, exactly. But in some cases, it's a true shrink, so you can't even parry out of some of that stuff.
I feel like I keep mentioning Noah, but he's definitely the Luke I've seen the most from watching top 8s and like can opener and whatnot. He'll just do like crouching medium, drive rush cancel, crouching medium, and totally the drive gauge. And there's really not that much that can be done about it.
Yes. You can play him pretty aggressively, and yeah, if you respect Luke too much, yeah, it can be pretty bad for drive gauge.
That was again supposed to be a drive reversal.
Oh no, you're fine, you're good. Yeah, I think if you do it really early, I think you can drive reverse or crouching medium punch.
No.
Might need to be sooner. Maybe not at all, actually.
Definitely can't be drive reversal.
Yeah, something like that, you know, heavy punch. Can be at least.
I was gonna mention the DI through heavy knuckle trap thing, but you actually covered that all by yourself. So
for sure, that one's a pretty common, pretty common sequence to be in too. So I think I can go.
Neutral jumping there. That's definitely going to change the way I play against Luke, because I've always assumed I kind of had to hold that. I didn't realize the block stun ended soon enough for me to just jump into.
Oh yeah, if you're able to react to it, Marisa probably doesn't get too much off of her cross up. But yeah, that's definitely always an option. I don't really see it too much either, but yeah, that's a way to deal with it without.
It doesn't do a lot of damage, but Marisa's cross up leading to this knockdown is really good.
It's so good. Yeah, I know.
And if it's a game-winning situation, can you just do the thing with the heavy knuckle again? Oh.
Yeah, it's also spacing dependent, but another good thing about it is that you don't have to hold the +4 frames if you neutral jump it. Yeah, something like that range. It'll definitely hit.
That is where it's going to be significant, because as severe as the scaling is off of that, if it's
still
kill, it's still over 33%. So it's a good call out at the end of a match, at least.
For sure. So I think now I can go into combos and in particular some of the setups he gets from
I wanted to make
those
sure we
combos.
also covered the running shoulder thing, and also just his fireball in general, because Luke has a fireball.
Yeah, it's a pretty unique one. Yeah, I can go over those, at least for neutral. So Sandblast is it's a pretty heavy, somewhat startup projectile, but has very low recovery. 3 different ranges. Usually you'll see this one the most, just because of like, it's a really good in-between. This one has the longest startup. So it's a bit more prone to kind of getting jumped in on. But this one is like a really good sweet spot. I would say for the most part, because you do not have to worry about Fireball into Dry Brush. I mean, his Dry Brush is really quick, so if you're not ready for it, you could still like, you know, just buffer the Dry Brush after the Fireball and really quickly get in there. But it's a bit more of a risk than some of the other characters.
Can you do that again
like
so I can try to check the Dry Brush?
Yeah, I can. Yeah. You can still, if you're like super ready for it. So he doesn't have like that kind of option where you can just follow the Fireball behind him and just kind of control the screen.
I'm guessing that Marisa is going to want to, at range, try to just go for parrying that, hopefully perfect parrying that.
Yeah, perfect parrying Fireballs from Luke still is pretty good, and you can still do the parry OS where you Dry Rush after perfect parrying, or like jump after perfect parrying.
At closer range, like if you're just throwing Sandblast here,
yeah,
I would do that again. I'm trying to see if I can glide it there. I can't when it's on block. But if you're just throwing it raw, Fireball here.
Yeah, no, you can definitely.
And same for just start it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that'll definitely call it out too. And that's really good now for Marisa, given it's now the hard knockdown.
With how fast his recovery is, this is probably not a particularly good option through Sandblast, because I'm going to be left in stance.
I don't see it too much. Yeah, I think it's also just like a range thing for that one. I don't see it too often. I'd say the only other thing, probably not particular for Marisa, just, you know, you're not going to be in any Fireball wars against Marisa, but EX Fireball, very quick, multi-hitting, has that follow-up that now is buffed. I think it's like more meter and has way higher damage. I guess the other going over specials.
At close range, that Fireball's going to be negative, right? If you just threw it here?
I'm not too sure.
You're negative 2 there.
Yeah, so it's not like the other EX.
And if you just throw a regular Fireball of any strength at this range, again, you're negative 2.
Yeah, so I would say for that one though,
like if you obviously just actually no, it wouldn't make sense for it to be just a Fireball because you're going to be doing some kind of block thing this close.
So yeah, that's one of the I guess with Luke pressure in particular, a big thing, especially if you're in the corner. If you're blocking something like this, very common sequence, if you block this out, Luke is in a really good like spacing trap with this. You can't even always mash out. Luke's usually pretty plus in this situation after you block it. And so even if you try to throw out, like Marisa might throw out a crouching medium punch in this range, I can very easily whiff punish that if you're just, you know, trying to call it. If you're just like mashing after a block like Fireball sequence like this.
That is good. That's good to realize if you do that up in my face. Which normal was that canceled?
Heavy, I'm doing Heavy Knuckle, or a Heavy Punch into Heavy Fireball here. And yeah, it's pretty spacing dependent. So it's pretty far, yeah, you can probably get there.
You could break up that. There's a gap enough for it to be a Gladius.
Yeah, it's a very risky situation with Luke range and spacing with his Fireball, because it's, you know, you don't want to block too much because he just keep on going with the pressure. But you also don't want to just throw out buttons because most of the time they're just going to whiff and then big Luke damage.
So that's pretty much it with the Fireball. Marisa's Fireball's answers are fairly straightforward. I just wanted to go over with the recovery being lesser and whatnot. You have to have a hard read to jump before he starts the Sandblast if you want to jump over it.
Yeah, I would say, yeah. It's a different type of fireball, but functionally wise, it's still the same in terms of how to deal with it.
The charge forward, like, shoulder check thing. I honestly still have no idea what to do about that, or if it's plus or what.
So that is a very spacing now and setup dependent. So one of Luke's new things is after this sequence, block here. I'll do it. Actually, you can do it from this too.
That hits meaty?
Yes, very meaty.
Yep,
And if
beating
you
wake up, yeah.
block the tackle.
Oh, I'll block this time, sorry.
No problem.
That leaves you -1, so...
Oh, I messed it up that time, actually. Okay, let me do it quickly.
Okay, you're
Is that
plus 2. You're plus 2.
Okay, yeah. So I think the highest you can do after that is +3. So it's a really, very big, like, if you try to mash out of that situation, I could just crouching medium punch you for free, and, it's a big counter hit. But it is very meaty, so a very good option is just to perfect parry it, and it's not even that difficult of a timing.
Do it
If
again,
you see,
I can do that.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So if you're ready for it, it's
I want to see how negative that is on perfect parry, if you don't mind doing it again.
yeah, for sure.
Okay, she's plus 18 then. That's not enough to get a charged one of these. It is enough to get one of these. So, can you do that one more time so I can try to do it with the punish?
Yep.
Oop. I think you might be doing it a little late.
Yeah. It's a bit early. Oh, we'll get there.
Alright, I'll set you free. I think I understand the concept. I know how suddenly you're like, where's my gun now? You're fine.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, it's it's typically, if I was messing that a little bit, it'll be auto time for Luke after any juggle into Heavy Knuckle. You'll get that set up.
How can the different strengths of Knuckle be identified on site, though? What are the visual tells?
I think actually, Knuckle itself or the tackle?
The Knuckle first.
Oh, just it's just different animations, but
that's light.
These,
that's medium.
Yeah, this is medium.
Okay, so anytime he like lunges back, like he's really preparing for something, that's the heavy.
Oh yeah.
And you said heavy is what sets up the meaty shoulder check?
Yeah, off of a juggle. So this one, that one's a meaty one.
That one you were +3. You did it perfectly when I wasn't trying to parry.
Yeah. But if I just do it like that, off of grounded hit, it whiffs. You can like manually time it if you want, because it's a big, you have a pretty big window of active frames, because like you saw before, it can be up to +3.
But on block, if he just throws that out in neutral, I want to see how negative it is.
So just regular, like super close up, it's very punishing.
Okay, I'm +6 there. So
I think maybe in this range, if you block in the corner, here, it's still negative, but I might have made it safe.
+5. Okay, so it's not going to reliably be +6 for me, but it's going to be at least enough time that do that again. Oh, spacing trap again.
Yeah, that's the thing. So, I haven't seen Luke's do it too much yet, but you can space it to where it's safe. I think maybe even plus, depending on range.
That's not cancelable though, so if he's really throwing that out at full screen, then I can just DI, right?
Yeah, or just like interrupt the poke.
Can you just throw it out again?
Yeah. It's definitely like a range and But yeah, there you go. That was a good timing on that. I haven't seen too many Lukes throw this out just because, you know, Dry Rush is in the game.
Yeah.
But, you know, you can... yeah, you can... I guess this would be, you know, something maybe Lukes might test out in the future just because it's a lot more safer than before. So especially in Burnout, if they kind of want to neutral skip maybe, just go in like that.
I want to make sure I cover the fake stuff and the scrubby stuff in these guides too, because like not everything you see a Luke do online is going to be optimal, and I've definitely gotten hit with that at a ridiculous range. So it's good to know what the counters are in that situation, even if it's not something you should be doing.
Yeah, I would say even if they're doing that, just block it and just check with chabs. They might try to, you know, do some mind games of pairing afterwards, but
he has something. But before you go into like combos, I don't even know what it's called off the top of my head. That thing where it sounds like he breaks your spine.
Oh, DDT. This.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is the last special I should probably go over. So this is a really. Oh, okay. We can do that. It's a really good light starter, light combo extension for Luke. You know, it confirms after 3 lights. You can do the DDT follow up, big damage, hard knockdown. It's a hard knockdown that puts you right in a shimmy situation by micro walk.
It's not a grab, correct? That's not a command grab?
No, it's not a command grab.
It
It's
looks
only
like
on
a
hit.
grab in the animation.
Oh yeah, it's like a grab animation wise, but yeah, it's like it's functionally just a follow up. Like I can't do it on block.
Yeah, that's like stupid negative on block.
Yeah, so you typically only see Lukes go into a combo from it. But yeah, it does the follow up. They buff the scaling on it, or buff the damage. I mean,
and you're plus 12 there. So what does Luke get off plus 12 for Oki?
Just typically just, you know, strike throw mix up. And I can also just shimmy you, walk back a little bit. So yeah, just typical like strike throw mix up, but it's, you know, the damage, they buff the damage on it and you get that hard knockdown. So it's a guaranteed. It's also, I like to do it pretty early on in a match just to kind of test out someone's tendencies on wake up. So if they like to throw a lot or if they like to mash a lot, things like that. You can get a really good idea off of that just because of the situation. You don't have to force that after taking them to the corner or anything like that.
And can you do that one more time so I can get a look at the first hit of it? So what normal is that you're canceling in for that?
Oh, this one was just scratching heavy punch. You can do pretty much every, you know, every like special cancelable move. You can just combo into it.
Okay.
And everybody see it from lights.
Aware of. Does it always require 2 meter? That's always an OD thing.
Yeah. So this version of it always needs 2 meter. The follow up takes an extra bar. So this is 3 meters.
Okay, so that's why I don't see them do it that much, because it's expensive.
Yeah, it's very expensive, and they're trying to buff it. We'll see if Luke's try to do it more often. I was kind of a big fan of that follow-up in particular, just because of, again, you get to put them in that like strike throw, shimmy, mix-up game pretty early on, mid-screen. And then in the corner, you typically just want to do like you don't really want to do the follow-up, and just do your normal combo from it. But yeah, I think that's pretty much, DP, pretty standard DP, it's somewhat narrow. I guess we can go over anti-airs.
One of many DPs in the game that, if you were to EX DP through this.
Yes, I've been in this situation a lot, actually. Yeah, so
that works on every DP in the game right now except Rashida and Akuma because they're multi-hitting.
Right.
You have to either person carry the first hit, or I think there's something you can do at DI. But Luke's got a good old traditional OD DP that either block it, punish it, or you just cancel into it off normal so I can get the charge.
I think you typically would like do a pressure. Yeah, I can see now.
Oop. I snapped it. I wasn't holding EX. Hang on. I don't know why that's not working.
There we go.
And that
then you
means
usually
you
get a punish.
plus 22. So
Yep.
if she does do that, can you do it one more time? That should work. Alright.
Yeah, usually you'll see it like typically if you are the one that pressed the button and you'll like try to do a hard call out with EX Gladius. I'm the one that's trying to EXDP that one. But yeah, pretty standard bind game from Marisa. For that, you can definitely blow
What's
up.
the most relevant off of like on block this?
Yes, yeah.
So then you end up with.
Yeah, exactly.
Oops, I wanted to see you throw the DP there.
Yeah, just do it. There you go.
And
that's usually when you get the punish.
So I can definitely.
That one. Yeah. So yeah, typical Marisa mind game with that. And then back heavy kick, you don't really see it as an anti-air too much. It can be used as one if they're jumping like pretty far back, but BoopBloop doesn't get too much off of it. Crouching heavy punch, it got nerfed pretty, I would say like reasonably. It's still pretty good.
They also
I would say
jump in heavy punch somewhat, didn't they?
They did also. This is better to anti-air against. Yeah. I think this is better to anti. Yeah. I feel like that would have worked. Or at least it would have traded for the patch. But I will say one of the niche things that they changed about crouching heavy punch is that it moves forward a slight bit. So I'm pretty sure if you jump forward in the corner here, do it more, maybe closer here. Yeah, so that'll happen.
Oh, that's
so
weird.
Yeah. So I think even like on neutral jump, because see in Shoot 36, like even if I'm trying to jump over you in the corner, I can't do that. But since they change it a slight bit where he moves forward just a tiny bit, it takes him out of that range. And that can, I think, like I've been in situations before where someone was trying to bait out a throw by like jumping on my wake up, and I try to do this, and it just completely whiffs, even if they're neutral jumping, just because of that moving forward bit. Yeah, because they go back in the corner. So it's something to keep in mind of now playing against Luke.
How effective are Luke's supers if I bait the super? Like if you just level 1?
I'm pretty sure all of them are very like drive rush, do whatever you want.
Yeah, that's actually negative 29 on that too. And then level 3.
And this one also very negative.
This one,
so yeah, all
I think
of them.
important to keep in mind, it's negative 42. So like, it's even a safe jump for me after that if for some godforsaken reason I want to.
I think you can get a jump in.
But
if you time it right.
Always forget that on block he reels back like that. If you do that one more time.
Yeah, it's pretty important.
I've thrown matches because I tried to punish but do it again.
But standing medium, yeah, no.
It has to be. And really, I have time to charge that even. If you do that one more time.
Oh yeah. Pretty big damage.
Just a little bit of damage.
So we went over combos, pressure. Oh yeah, so I wanted to go over another 2 different Oki setups. Is this one the Whiff Tackle? You've probably seen that a lot.
Oh yeah, that happens to me constantly. I wouldn't have been able to tell you what the frame data was though.
It's just a situation, even if you back roll, where he's so close to you that he just gets like a strike throw. So I would say you'll see it a lot.
But before you go into the Oki setups, I just had an intrusive thought, or not intrusive, random thought that I want to cover before we move on. Can I double check the frame data on level 2 again? I want to see if I can
Alright,
punish
sounds
that with
great.
DI. That was something that Mr. Mistopoulos pointed out was possible against all of Akuma's supers. I just want to see if it works on Link.
Most likely, yeah. See,
Yeah, so that's
Level
the same
one.
situation where I can literally DI into DI and take like 3 bars if I want to.
right, yeah. And typically you'll see Lukes try to reversal when they have low meter anyway, or low drive. So definitely another good thing to keep in mind when
Okay,
it comes
we
to
can go back to the
punishing.
combo now. I just wanted to check the DI thing, because I know this is 26 frames, but so is this.
Right. So it's a matter of, what you value more, damage or
Do I want to
burning
get
out
my
the rough
huge
gauge.
combo, or do I want to put you in burnout?
Yep. So, I'll just show 2 more Oki setups that are new for Luke, because they buffed this move, which I was also a big fan of this. I thought it was kind of undervalued, especially during Luke pressure. It's kind of something that I do more often than some of the other Lukes, but I like to go for something like this, and if they block it, throw in one of those, on a hit or on counter. You get a conversion if you space it out correctly, which I'll show in these setups, because it'll be a lot easier than just trying to press it in the right spacing. But they buffed it to where you can mediate on the last active frame, and it'll actually be plus. So one combo that I saw that I've been trying to do more often. That. So I frame kill with the crouching light kick after the heavy charged air knuckle, and if you block, it will be +1. There.
Yeah. So then that's another, not technically a strike throw mix-up, because I can max out of the throw.
Right, it's like a similar situation after this target
So
combo,
actually,
where
matching jab there is not terrible. Any of these +1
It's-
setups, that's not terrible, because if it's a jab, it'll
Yeah.
trade, and if it's a throw, it'll win. The only thing I have to be afraid
exactly.
of is shimmy.
Well, it won't trade, because my crouching light will just beat yours, but if they do try to go for the throw, your strike will win.
Are you sure?
And that's also, no, because 4 frames +1, my 4 frame will beat yours, and it'll be counter hit.
Oh,
so
yeah,
you have to go in.
gosh, I was thinking somehow 4 frames before throw, and I was like, that means math. It's
Yeah,
Pride
no,
Month.
it only-
It's homophobic to make the gays do math during Pride Month.
Exactly, yeah, that's why Luke just doesn't, you don't even need to worry about that for Luke. Yeah, it's, it only matters for the throw, but yeah, it's a similar strike throw. You'll probably, I don't know if you've done a Ken guide yet or not, but you'll
yet.
definitely be, that'll also come up, that +1 situation. But yeah, same as if the target combo hits, it'll be the same type of situation. And then this other setup, very easy, so you'll probably see this a lot. You'll just have to walk out of the corner for a little bit. But after back throw in the corner, this is just super easy. If you block that, that's also +1. So brain dead setup for Luke.
So there are a
if he
lot of
gets it
these
back around the corner.
situations where the ideal situation for Marisa would be to perfect parry the meaty.
Yes. That one is a bit trickier, because, it's not as obvious as something like Tackle, because Tackle has that big startup and has a lot of active frames, so you can perfect parry that. But the heavy kick ones are a bit trickier, but yeah, it's still the same idea.
Up. Like if you back throw me and you run that setup. When will my perfect parry return from war?
So yeah. I would say, there's a lot of meaty situation that leaves Luke plus. So kind of the mind game with that, I would say, is that after the Luke sees you perfect parry, especially after a frame kill or something like that, he would just not do anything at all, and then try to throw you out of your parry.
So basically, if I see the frame kill crouch light kick out of Luke, it's probably a strong guess to go for a perfect parry on wake up.
It's just one of those mind game things, most likely, but I could just do the frame kill and then like meaty throw.
You can still meaty throw after that.
Yeah, because I'm still very close to you after this combo in particular. So I could just frame kill, then me crouching medium punch, or just delay the button. I could just walk back, shimmy, sending heavy punch. So
At least for throw loops now, I don't have to be like just gas, because now Marisa, if she wants to, like.
Yep.
That's an option now. So throw loops are a little less impressive than they were.
Yes, for sure, especially for Marisa, because I think that's definitely a good. Because Marisa, like, level 1 gets beaten by throw, all of her EX wake up options.
Are going to be level 2, level 3. EX Stance uses to throw. EX Gladius uses to throw. I'm literally doing wake up EX.
A bit too early there. So yeah, no, it's definitely a really good option for Marisa in particular, because originally she would just, you would have to really hard guess against throw loop, against her in particular. Even her backdash, because it was just like a slower backdash, would be hard to punish throws. So
generally, a lot of Luke's Oki is going to be that he does a frame kill into a meaty that's going to leave him slightly plus.
Yes, yeah. I would say a lot of the new stuff, that's definitely what the devs want you to do with Luke. Luke players can still do the old tried and true, just whiff tackle, and then he doesn't need to worry about perfect parry being a guarantee. It's still like a mix-up, I can still throw you.
Yeah, you're +5 there, so that's a true mix-up in every sense of the word.
Yes, yeah. No, that's a true strike
Let's
throw.
Let's go gambling!
Yeah.
Oh, dang it!
Dang it. Oh yeah, no, it's so they can still do that, but the new setup, the good thing about that too is that the corner carry after Heavy Knuckle, you block that already in the corner. There's actually there is a corner combo I could just show you the tweet of it, where it's not even that hard at all, but just it's a true corner to corner. You spin 4 bars of gauge and Luke is in the corner, he can just take you from one end to the other.
Wow.
Yeah.
That main character privilege. Protagonist privilege, right. Capcom.
Yeah. No, it's pretty wild.
They're like, this white boy is the chosen one.
Yeah, no, they love, their American white boys. I don't know what it is.
My favorite thing about Luke, as frustrating as he is to fight, is his voice actor. I love Alex Lee so much. In particular, his story about how, when Luke wins a round, he'll be like, let's go, and fist pump.
Oh, yeah. I know, yeah.
Talk about that. He's like, he'd been watching American Twitch streamers to try to come up with lines for Luke to say, since he's supposed to be like a Western gamer. And he ended up asking the developers if he could have Luke be like, let's go, after he wins the round. And the developer's response in Japan was, what are you talking about? The round is over. Where is he going?
Yeah, where is he going? Yeah, I love that.
I think about that every time I hear him say it, and it cracks me up.
It's so, yeah. No, I love, I think he also had influence, he has a super that's like his level 2 super in Street Fighter 5, and the voice actor is the same voice actor, and he was like, yeah, I want Luke to, because he does like the whole aura. It's like, because he's kind of just like a big nerd. He loves like PC gaming and stuff like that. So he's
the episode that he did on his Twitch stream with Marisa's voice actor, Allegra Clark, like single-handedly eliminated my intensity of salt towards Luke, because I was just like, no, now I love the guy behind him too much. I can't fully hate Luke. I still hate Luke, don't get me wrong, but less.
No, yeah, like 0.5% instead of just 100% for sure. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it that I can think of in terms of just like things that usually I use or I see around on the internet.
Off of his general, what you call the classic combo, the perfect, send me flying, does he have options other than the tackle that I should be aware of? Like, what are his Oki options off of that?
Yeah, the only other one would be the whiff tackle usually. Whoops. That you'll see. This one. I know he has a side switch, but I don't usually use it too much. Or I think something like this, and then frame kill. Yeah, it's like that. You frame kill with the standing leg kick, and then you get like a strike throw. But I don't really use it too much, just because he already has like insane corner carry anyway, and you lose out on a good bit of damage. But
I also know there are some Marisa specific setups for baiting youth level 1 and other fireball supers, where if I were to do like Superman Punch, it goes over it and beats it. I don't know the setup off the top of my head. I want to say, like, if you were to block and then level 1 after this.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
So,
maybe not that one. Yeah,
it's somewhere
level 1's pretty
where
privileged for Luke.
Particularly useful.
For like a certain block string?
For a certain string, yeah, because it's so fast compared to... mind you, I don't really think about this stuff that much because I still have a lot of personal difficulty with the DP input. So I'm still only using medium Superman Punch just because of dyspraxia. But for those who can consistently get the input out, I know there are setups to beat Fireball Supers with this. I don't think we're going to be able to do that in the video because I can't remember the setup. But I thought it was worth mentioning so anybody who sees this and goes, oh hey, I want to figure that out, and go and ask somebody who does know the answer to that because I'm just drawing a blank. I know it's possible. I know there are ways to make level 1.
Yeah, I had no idea. So yeah, I would definitely look into that. But that would be pretty good on for Marisa pressure.
I'm still stuck on as well that Luke level 1 is negative enough for me to charge one of these because I really thought I had time to do one of these.
Yeah, for sure. I'll let her up here.
No.
It doesn't seem like it for fully charge. I'll block. Oh no, you can get it. And then, if it's like pretty far out, I would probably say just parry it. Yeah, exactly.
Oh. Can you do that again?
It can be kind of finicky. Yeah, there you go.
I'm trying to do the heavy gladius. I'm still
heavy
gladius. That's consistent.
I bet you're doing the new charge sweep.
No, mid-stream, light gladius makes the level 3 whip. It has to be heavy. So I've been working on getting the motion input out consistently in that one place.
Yeah, for sure. But unless there's anything else in particular, I think that's
anything else specific to Luke. Honestly, this seems a lot more straightforward than I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be a lot of Luke can do this, and then it's secretly this and that. I'm sure he has other complex setups if ever, like, somebody who's like 2000 MR Luke wants to hop on and walk me through some of his like crazier shit. I'm sure he has shit. But the fundamental Luke game plan is a lot more streamlined than it feels when you're getting your ass beat.
Oh, for sure, yeah. No, I would say in general, it definitely depends on the kind of Luke player, but I would definitely start off the match with just trying to outpoke and get the knockdown from there. And then see their tendencies and see like where, because like if they do something like blocked crouching knee punch into crouching heavy, or not crouching, standing heavy, it's a very common sequence, but there's a big gap, so yeah, like that, but I can also just do this and then +1. And you can't mash out of that. So it's just one of those things where, like, you have to look out for those tendencies.
So Luke is the embodiment of the Let's Go Gambling video.
For Luke?
Luke is a slot machine. He's just constantly setting up strong Oki.
Oh, yeah.
Where you have to guess.
Yeah. That's definitely because, like, you don't want to block too much because you're going to lose a lot of drive gauge and stuff like that. So I would say he's pretty perfect parry prone. That's a pretty silly sentence right there. PPP, perfect parry prone. But
that's almost as bad as the time I asked for advice on my neutral, and someone told me to whiff punish the whiff punish.
Oh wow, that's pretty Galaxy Brain right there.
I was just like, I need to lie down.
But yeah, also stuff like this usually I see on block 2. It definitely does something around this just because of this being plus and the spacing of it. But yeah, I would say more so just try to, especially for Marisa, because Marisa can kind of outrange Luke at some of his more desirable pokes. So I would say just try to kind of out-poke and try to whiff punish to get that knockdown. And if not, if they're kind of going crazy with the buttons, I would try to more so perfect parry than try to just, you know, mash out something to interrupt his stuff.
So don't mash on Luke. Be willing to play the neutral. Again, with Marisa's ideal range being, if you can stand still just so I can get the range right. Either like tip of Gladius range, tip of this, tip of this.
Yep.
That being Marisa's ideal range is really where you have to play against Luke. And then I guess just being comfortable perfect parrying the fireball, especially so if he's trying to rescue at this range.
Sure, because if you're really good at that poking range, then I have to either do this, or do this. And this is very committal. And even though you can get, you know, some reward off of these buttons, it's not too much. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. You know, just a good summary on Luke. He's a very like kind of a wall type poking character. I would say not too aggressive, not kind of like Ken or Akuma. But his pressure isn't as good as those characters. So I would
played some really unhinged Lukes. I feel like you are really more grounded than some of the Lukes I've played online.
Whenever I see Noah play, it's like I don't know how he gets away with this, but he does. For the most part, he does. So, but you can play him like that too. But yeah,
maybe someday I'll be back on the other side of this trying to figure out how to beat Marisa with Luke, because I really have seriously contemplated pocketing a modern Luke. I can always ask Triumph if I decide I want to learn.
Yeah, for modern Luke in particular, he definitely seems like I think he's kind of one of the few ones that have really stuck with modern Luke, so definitely reach out for
stuff. Like, I'm just a guy. I like playing Fall Guys, and I play modern controls because they're fun. And I was just like, okay, this dude seems nice, and I'm not that worried about him. And then I saw him play, and was just like, what the fuck, man? You're crap.
No, it's pretty funny. He seems like a pretty like stone cold, straight faced guy.
He's so chill, but his Luke is brutal.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
So if we've covered the matchup, do you want to play a first to 3 or 2 before we hop off?
Yeah, for sure. We can definitely do that and then call it then.
Well, the question is, will I be able to implement any of this information right away? The answer is probably not. Take some time. Oh, I love that new art for new Challenger Luke. That's adorable.
Oh, yeah. No, I love that artist. I think it was really cool that they got that in there. Nice.
Good job.
The timing on that.
Ooh. I think I'm gonna die now. No?
Yeah, I think if I wanted to spend the super meter, I could have
you probably could have killed with the route into level 1. Yeah, that definitely did get nerfed. Wow. Oops, I dropped it. Oh, I also forgot to mention Luke's air knuckle could be air to air, the jumping medium punch.
Yeah. Seems like a good way to deal with that. Nice. That was a good reaction to the secret there.
Modern.
Now you know history. I have you. Gladius.
Oops. Oh no, trap! I'm gonna die for that. Oh my god!
It was close to killing.
Cheeky overhead.
Was.
Do you happen to know which Oki setups the overhead is like available on, if any?
Actually, yeah, I forgot to mention. So in the corner after throw, it like perfectly meaties. So I do that a lot.
We can hop back to training real quick
Those
after this
situations.
and just check the air knuckle thing and the overhead thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Got you.
Getting mauled.
Where you going? Take this. 10 left. 10 left. 10 left.
Oh!
I got pretty lucky with the timing on that. Yeah.
Round 2. Fight.
Where you going? Go to sleep.
Trying to delay tech there, and I did not actually delay.
Where are you going? Straight greens.
No, you don't. How's this?
Nice shimmy. I'm gonna die now, aren't I? No?
I should have been, yeah. That's the execution on that.
Oh, I tried to walk up through you there. You were out of the parry already. It's not gonna kill him.
Oh, that barely reached. Oh, I should have done super.
That was scrappy. Whoa! I take it back. I hate move. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm still getting cooked. His buttons are all just so good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, his bugs are still very... So,
I'm just getting mauled here. Oh god, I'm trying to check and we're close enough.
ah. It's not going up.
Eh, I don't know what I was trying to do there.
I respect it.
You go!
Oh,
I have you!
come on,
I
close enough.
got you! You... Yeah, stand still!
Oh no!
Too slow.
That's another trap if I try to EX Gladius, the Heavy Knuckle.
I'm too good.
Oh, nice. Good reaction there. I
That-
forgot, yeah,
that's
modern.
just modern.
Marisa.
I get that a lot. I'll do the super and they'll go, oh right, you can do that. And I'm like, yeah.
That's what it's there for.
Final round.
Nice Whiff Punish.
Where are you going? Straight dreams! Stand still! I have you! Forward! Got you! Forward!
Oh, I didn't get to drive it back.
Alright, I got one. My dignity is preserved. Oh my god, when I played
Good
Brutus for the
sequence.
Zangief episode, I got fucking washed.
No, he seems like a really good thing. Yeah.
Got my combo. Gotta stop jumping. Oop.
What?
Where you go?
Oh no, that's me.
Round 2. Fight. Where you go? Ten left. Ten left. Too slow. Where you go?
Why did I try to delay tech there? That was not the time to attack at all.
Long guy. Come back. Yo, you good?
Nice, nice. Really good.
I like to cast the wake up DI with the minions to Gladius.
Oh yeah, that's smart. Yeah.
Ten left. Too slow. Where you go? Ten left.
Oh god, no! That was supposed to be a drive reversal.
Where you go?
No! Oh man, you want to play one more before we blab those last couple things?
Yeah, sure. Do the
It really feels like I
one,
just
here's the
don't
one.
know when he's gonna stop pressing buttons.
Here comes a
Sounds it. When he's in my face using all those good normals.
Yep. Yeah, it's that's definitely I would say his biggest strength. Especially on like just, you know, straight up block strings might not be good, but just the ability of like waiting a little bit, seeing what they do, and then just pressing something else is it's very good.
Where are you going? Straight dreams! I have you!
Oops.
Where you go?
Oh!
Yeah,
Did I too late? Did that happen? Is that...
No, actually, that sequence, you just can't drive impact like that.
I thought that was when you
Unless-
said I should drive impact.
No, just usually just like an EX, like EX Gladius would need that. It's the target combo that you would drive impact. This one.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, different block stuff. Forgot that. That got really low. It's a little tap.
Oh, overhead.
Up you go!
That's too early. Trying to get used to trying to whip punish. Standing heavy. Ooh.
Where you going? Take left.
Oh, that was supposed to be a drive reversal. Oh my god.
Oh, this one hit actually. Oops, if they drop it.
Why did I do that? You don't even have the drive. What was I trying to catch? I have no idea.
Yeah. GG's.
Alright, I want to check the overhead thing and the anti-air thing. And if you don't mind showing that where I shouldn't have DI'd a minute ago.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah,
It really feels like half my problem with Luke is just that I get frustrated that he's bullying me and I attack eventually.
Yeah, it's one of those matchups where, like, eventually you do have to just, you know, kind of throw out a standing medium punch on your end or a crouching medium punch. But once you get that, and once you get that, kind of snowball effect going, it, you know, Marisa can get that big damage. But yeah, usually I don't see too many Lukes do this, but this is definitely, like, perfect meaty. Also very brain dead. And I usually only do that to close out rounds, but, you know,
Okay.
you throw loop them so much as Luke, so. And then just on block, I can show you for this. Most of the time, you cannot, after the first hit of the Heavy Knuckle, if you react and try to drive impact the fireball, you're not going to be able to do that. It's the same thing with the forward heavy punch target combo. This one, if you try to drive impact after the first hit, I messed it up that time. But I could just special cancel the second hit, like that.
Okay.
Oh, that clash, that was funny.
Cool.
Yeah, usually Luke will win that situation.
Okay. And in the corner, if you do the air knuckle to get out of the corner.
Oh yeah, so I never really did this myself, but yeah, some Lukes will do that. This is just good also if you are just like, because usually I'll try to just wake up, jump forward. If I'm in the corner against Marisa, if they're gonna do like throw, command throw, anything like that. But this, you don't even, if they do air knuckle to try to get out, the landing recovery is so much. They like, in that first patch, I'm gonna be holding up this entire time. See how long of like a recovery I have. Yeah, I was holding up that entire time.
Can you just
After
do that
the
to
air
the corner
knuckle.
and I'll see if I can land a punish?
Yeah.
Yep.
Just do usually they'll do like the light one, like that. Yeah, there you go. So you shouldn't really see it too much, but if a Luke does that still, just like remember you have ample time to punish.
And just to kind of look at some of the strings you were doing on block against me in that round. Like, can you just run some of the same stuff?
So yeah, I was doing, crouching medium punch. It's gonna be a lot of crouching medium punch for this. Crouching medium punch, standing heavy punch, crouching medium punch, crouching medium kick. So all these have gaps.
But not
the idea,
as you said.
Well, these are actually mashable. So yeah, that I think maybe crouching medium into crouching medium can be. Yeah, crouching medium. This one actually this is catching walk back usually. But yeah, the whole idea is that I can either do this if I'm really close to you and keep it into a frame trap if you mash out, or I'm so far back to where I punish. Yeah. So that's kind of the whole idea with Luke Pressure. And a lot of it stems out of crouching medium punch because of how far it goes and it
I was hoping there was going to be some kind of secret anti-Luke trick that was going to really change this matchup for me.
I would say
he's just really strong and he's kind of frustrating.
Mm-hmm. I would say if they're really just going ham with the buttons, kind of hope if like a string kind of is negative. This one too, it's kind of free for me to kind of do something like this, but you could definitely mash out of this. This is very negative enough to do that. Part of perfect for me. But yeah, like sometimes they'll whiff their strings, or also they'll do it too close where you can mash out. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else in particular.
Yeah, I think that's probably
any other questions?
Any other times I should particularly be on lookout for the overhead?
Yeah, I kind of just throw it out. There's probably some other Lukes that actually know like good setups for it. Maybe something like after Heavy Knuckle like this, delay it a little bit. But I don't think there's like an auto setup, like overhead setup for Luke off of any of his knockdowns, especially after throw. You can like wake up with something. Yeah. So typically I just do standing medium punch, crouching medium punch, maybe after drive rush, after like throw. If I'm like further away, something like this knockdown, I'll do forward heavy. I believe this is +1 on block. After this knockdown,
+3.
Same thing. Oh, it's +3 actually. Wow. Okay. I actually didn't know that. I thought it was just +1. I think this one is the +1 one.
Yeah, that's +1.
Okay. So these are both really good for drive rush.
So when it comes down to it, don't be afraid to go for perfect parry. Don't get baited by the relentless pressure into inevitably delay teching.
Yeah, delay teching or like throwing out buttons, because yeah, Luke is very space trap heavy.
So go for perfect parry, maybe spend the drive reversal. Really, just have to kind of keep him off of me, which is easier said than done.
Yeah, and also
you to walk into this range, and you were staying just outside of it and clicking low, to where I probably should have been looking to be more in this range.
Or crouching medium punch, I would say, for Marisa in particular. That is, that one is really good, because I don't know, it'd be hard to kind of show off the ranges between the two. But yeah, something like this and his crouching medium kick kind of get spaced out a little bit by her crouching medium punch. So I would say that's a pretty good poke against Luke, because then I have to go for something like this, or like this, or like this, which aren't as or either more committal or less rewarding than crouching medium kick or crouching medium punch. But yeah, I think that's all I can think of for the moment.
Well, thank you so much for walking through where all those space traps are, especially, because I really did not realize why I was getting hit. I was just like, there was a gap, I hit a button, I don't understand. I didn't realize he was so spacing and frame trap heavy. And really the game plan is just for him to be a bully, so I have to keep him off and have to not get baited by either you being in my face and stringing those excellent normals together, or you just covering at range and wanting to zone. Because what will happen is, like, you'll be throwing a fireball from back there, and I'll just be like, fuck this shit. That doesn't connect.
Yeah, and his standing medium punch is really good for this, also for that approach, because, yeah, it just reshows, it's very active. It's not, it doesn't even need to be a reaction, just because I'm already kind of, this is already, like, something that I'm going to throw out as a poke. So if I just happen to, you know, do that, then it's like, oh, okay, I get a hard knockback. Well, not a hard knockdown, I get a knockdown, and just, you know,
Actually, I think it was a hard knockdown if you knocked me out of Superman. Yep.
Try to back attack?
It says force
Is it if it's
knockdown.
force knockdown? I'm trying to remember if force knockdown means,
Yeah,
no,
I
you
can
can
still roll.
backtrack.
I can still roll. Okay.
But yeah, he'll still be right in your face, so, yeah. Yeah, I would say
super
you
helpful.
summarize it
I
pretty
think
well.
the walkthrough is probably going to help a lot of people that just want to understand, like, what the setups are, what they're getting hit by, as opposed to just, I got looped again. I really, really appreciate your time, and now I need to step up how good I am at fighting Luke so we can run it back and I can win next time.
For sure, definitely.